Let's talk about the secret ingredient to great leadership. I don't think it's something that we talk about much when we're putting out our lists of characteristics of great leaders. I spend so much time on LinkedIn and on Twitter reading other thought leaders on leadership put out their 5 things that every leader should do, or the 5 resources that every leader should have, and all the things that all the ideals that great leaders should be. They're all useful. We do it in the Rising Leader Handbook. I do it, on this podcast. You see it all over the place. I'm sure you feel bombarded with how you're falling short as a leader because you don't live up to all these ideals. The secret ingredient that we don't talk about, that's not in the memes, that's not in the lists, is often courage. Courage is the secret ingredient to being a great leadership. First of all, takes courage just to step up to be a leader in the first place. I always refer to Alyssa Cohn's From Startup to Grown Up, where she said, leadership is not a natural act. Standing up to be counted, putting your head above the fray, that you can get your head chopped off. Leadership is not it is for some people, but it's very few. Most of us have to kind of gather ourselves and make a choice to step in as a leader in an organization, in a situation, even in our own lives. So the first courage is becoming the leader in the first place. But now let's look at all those lists of what every leader should do, how every leader should be, and what those ideals entail. So, a leader should be vulnerable. It takes courage to be vulnerable. You have to deal with your own shit in private and in other ways in order to be vulnerable in a room full of people, to feel confident enough to be vulnerable. Let's talk about speaking up in a meeting, speaking your truth in the meeting, and bringing candor to a meeting. If you want to do that, again, you have to have confidence in yourself. You have to have the courage to deal with the blowback, to deal with people who are going to disagree. Let's say you're going to go and you're going to fight for something that's important. You have to have the courage to deal with people not liking you at the moment, or feeling like they're not going to like you, or feeling like you're going, I hear this all the time. I'm the only one in the meeting who thought this. I'm the only one in the meeting who raised their hand. That takes courage. So if you're finding yourself falling short, if you find yourself not stepping up every once in a while, that's a very human thing. So know that you need to gather your courage to have a conversation with someone who is not performing at the level they need to perform, to have that feedback conversation, to have that coaching conversation. It takes courage. Nobody wants to hurt anybody else's feelings to have that conversation, right? So deal with your own stuff. Talk to a friend, talk to a mentor, talk to a coach. Get yourself right before you go do those things. But no, just because you're human, you're not going to beat the humanity out of yourself. So you're going to bring your humanity into every single situation, and that's where the vulnerability is going to come in. That's where the relatability is going to come in, when you can bring your humanity into the situation, and knowing that you have dealt with it someplace else, with friends, in a workshop, with a coach, with a therapist, with anybody. When you can bring that whole self, that whole human self, to any situation and muster up that courage, that's when you're going to be that kind of a leader. You're going to be so much more comfortable and more relaxed and more accessible. So rustle up your courage. Know it's okay to be scared, to be nervous, to want to shrink, and to step up anyway. Those of us who write these memes and write these lists and show you the ideals, we all steal ourselves also. We all have a posse of people who hold us up so we can stand up and be thought leaders and speak. And it's not easy to make a video and throw it out on LinkedIn, right? It comes with its own set of self-consciousness. It takes courage. Just because you're scared, just because it's hard, doesn't mean you're not a great leader. So find your courage, step up, experiment. If it doesn't work, great, fix it, try again. Love you. Have a great rest of the day.